sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 20.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
But will they be going all week?
I don't remember this.
I mean, okay, then maybe not. Have you noticed Matthew McLean? Have you noticed him? He's an amateur. He's leading the Masters, for crying out loud.
Woo!
An amateur's leading the Masters. Good morning to you, and happy Masters Thursday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie, just getting started. You got like 2 groups on the course. And an amateur named Matthew McLean birdied number 1 and is leading the Masters. Take a picture, young fella. Take a picture. I'm not sure it's ever going to happen again. He's an amateur from Northern Ireland. How you living, Jeff Symbieta? JJ, did I ever tell you who's on the show? I think I did. What's up, you guys?
Happy Masters. Very excited.
I like today. Today's a good day. It's one of them. Yeah,
it's one of them.
Thursday. It's on all day. It's good stuff. You and me probably sat around and watched the par 3 stuff yesterday and enjoyed it. And if you didn't, that's cool. That's not your thing. But I loved watching. One dude with 2 hole-in-ones. Tom Hoagie wins it. But the kids out there, Justin Thomas bringing teenagers out to putt for him. Here, come on, young man, come on out and make the putt. And these kids are just like so nervous. And I just Gary Player was great. Gary Player could still freaking hit the ball. Like, I don't know, man. And the weather's going to get wonky. Tiger wasn't there. People were losing their minds. There's a lot of storylines today. You into all right? So you didn't watch yesterday. I'm down with that. Will it be on in your house today?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm not gonna. This is what it's one of those insane things that I caught myself yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, they designed these 4 hole-in-ones.
Well, no, they certainly set the pins
like,
up.
oh my gosh, it's a hole-in-one, and I'm like, you're still professional golfers, man.
Hole-in-ones are pretty tight,
and then everything's rolling back towards the hole. So I had that's the one I was like, it's okay. Like, I had to pump myself down a little bit. because they're going crazy over the highlights. And,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. If I got a hole in one and the ball funnels to the hole anyway, I would still jump up and down.
Out.
I would too.
I would freak
almost
out.
like you,
and then
if
two
you
of
don't
them.
get a hole in one,
Well,
what are you doing?
So the pins are placed in favorable places for the hole in one competition to see some hole in ones. Did you
still
see?
not easy.
All right, how about the one Scott? Were you impressed by the one Scotty Scheffler dunked? Did that one impress
stayed
you?
in was impressive.
Did that one impress you a little bit? I mean, that one.
I'm just impressed.
Well, okay, so that hole, they all three teed off. And so when they show the green, there's 3 balls there, and you're like, okay, well, I guess a patron, as they like to call the fans there, patrons, threw a ball out there. So, but the video shows he dunked it. Like, I'm in, man. I was in. It was on all day. I had enough news in my office watching Trump indictments and McCarthy meeting with the president of Taiwan. I'd seen enough, man.
Yeah, it's part of the competition time.
Yeah, it was Masters.
Like, I don't want to know anything else going on the world. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't care.
Look at that point. Can I hide myself in par 3? It was good. I'm trying to think. It's the dunk contest, right? It's the NBA's dunk.
Oh, it's fun. Yes,
right.
It's so fun.
It's do you watch the All-Star? Maybe it's. I'm trying to think of something analogous in another sport, right? Is it the dunk contest?
Yeah.
But if this isn't the All-Star game, this is
No.
the freaking Masters. This is the World Series. This is Super
It's
Bowl.
just fun.
It is. Yeah. The wives are out there as caddies. The families are out there. Brooks Koepka's wife putted on the last hole for him. That way,
Tony Finau's wife is hilarious, by the way, if you don't follow her.
Yeah,
she's hilarious.
Everything about it was great. It was fun, and then you get it going for real today. And we'll keep you up. Tiger goes at like 8:12 or something. So our time. We're going to talk about it. Nick Nee, the director of golf out at the beautiful San Diego Golf Club, is going to join us coming up at 9:00 this morning. He, by the way, leaves today for Augusta. He'll be there tomorrow and over the weekend, and so we'll catch up with him. We're going to start up on golf tips with him here probably next week, you guys. We'll bring back Nick on Friday. Nick was, I thought, a really good addition to our show for all those years that he was on. We had a little couple years hiatus.
Excited.
He's really good. So we're going to bring Nick back today, 9:00, and talk to him about that. And so who'd you guys like?
Am I going to learn how to ace it on a par 3 now?
Maybe.
When Nick Nee in the house?
Maybe.
Very excited.
Maybe your chances will go up.
I'm so
All
excited.
right, who'd we end up with? So you guys, I liked Scheffler.
I'm on Spieth.
And who'd you like?
Well, he had a dark horse, right, JJ?
I went with Tony Finau.
All right,
I love it.
So pick 4. Like.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. Go ahead.
No, I'm
Because I'm throwing Schauffele into my 4. Right. I'm going Scheffler, Schauffele. And Rory's been playing so stinking well. And then I'm going to throw a live guy in, and Koepka will be my 4th. And I know they're all super high on the board and whatever. And Cantlay
I like Brooks.
Cantlay was my next guy because I think Cantlay's at some point ready to break through. But I was thinking about it. You got to throw a live guy in there, don't you? And Koepka's been playing. He won in Orlando. He plays well in big events, and so he would be my guy. So those will be my 4. Scheffler, and Schauffler, and look, I know I'm.
I'll throw one in the curve.
Super front runner on that. I get it.
All right, I'll go Rory. I already had Spieth.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw him in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Finau, Rory, and Reed.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because I would like to see it.
None of us are going way off the board here, and that's fine. You tend to like Bryson, no?
Oh, I like Bryson.
If you're giving me 4, I ain't touching DeChambeau.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going Day,
Yeah.
Morikawa, Schauffele, Rahm.
That's really good. Yeah. And so you stayed completely away from the live guys, which is fine. My tendency was to stay away from them, but I just figured,
Well, Finau instead of Day because I picked him.
Yeah.
And I want to see the Tiger
So
on the
if I was just
weekend.
So
going
Finau, Day, Rahm, and Morikawa.
Ooh, I like Rahm.
No, I'll take Day out because he was my dark horse yesterday. But when you said who's going,
So Finau, Morikawa, Rahm,
Rahm, Xander,
and Xander. So we're all on Xander. Did you have Xander in there too? Oh, you had.
No, Scotty,
Okay.
Scheffler,
All right.
Finau, Reed.
I didn't write any of that mess down. just so you know. But it's exciting. Who you got today? Who are you looking for? What are you looking for in the Masters? And I got a lot of thoughts on this as we go through it, including the Live versus PGA thing. And the more I listened to guys yesterday, I'm more and more convinced this is a media creation. And you know where I am on that, JJ. Normally I'm like, stop it with blaming the media for this. But it does feel like the players themselves. And if you get a Rory Patrick Reed pairing, it'll be interesting. I don't know. Is there anything else you're looking for? I mean,
Tiger on the weekend. That'd
be wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
I struggle thinking Tiger is going to be a factor on the weekend because of the weather.
Absolutely.
I just, if it's cold and rainy
it's tough on him,
it's going to be really, really tough on him at that leg. And like Tiger said, I can make the shots. It's, I'm lucky to have my leg. So I got to believe with the damp, cold, and he's going to have early tee times if he's not at the top of the leaderboard. He goes early today, late tomorrow, when the weather's supposed to start coming in. And then if he makes it to the weekend, I think it's going to be tough. I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm watching. I'd love to see it. I think you're going to have a Tiger moment or two over the next 2 days. I'm struggling to see it. But the more I think about it, and when we come back, I want to talk about this, the Live versus PGA thing and this rivalry. I think it's very few guys. I think it's been crafted by a guy who's not there. And I'll tell you why I think it's really more of a media creation than it is a player deal. That's next. 505-246-0610 is the number to get in. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Wrestling fans!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Wait, Augusta. You got an amateur at the top. An amateur who's 2 under. You just got started. But a guy named Matthew McLean is birdied 1 and 4. He's 2 under par. Names on the course that maybe you know: Kevin Na, 4 over after 6. Vijay Singh is out there. Louis Oosthuizen's even after 1. Freddie Couples is out there. Taylor Gooch, Jason Kokrak. All of those guys even. It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and A. Marie. So I listened to this yesterday, and we've spent so much time talking about Live versus PGA, and because we wonder what it's going to mean to us as viewers, and just assume there's a rivalry, and there is a rivalry, right? Rivalries don't always mean contentious or bad blood. Listen to the players and watching the players. Like, is Brooks versus DeChambeau a thing anymore? Remember how big that was, how cool it was when it was a thing for a minute?
Yes.
Is that even a thing now that they're both on the same tour?
No.
No.
They're fine, or we
I haven't heard anything recently
or
seen anything.
Because the media didn't cover Live, so they stopped talking about it, right? I really feel that, this has been created, how about this? Not created, enhanced and furthered by 2 factions. A, the media, and B, Greg Norman. Greg Norman's not there. He wasn't invited this year. He's pissed that he wasn't invited, but he's not a former champion. They don't have to invite him. They want it to be about the golfers and not about this Live versus PGA thing. And the media, I think the media, it's a storyline. What about the Live golfers versus the PGA? It feels like the players are like, hey, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. He's still my guy. He's still my guy. We went out and played a practice round today.
That's a little more than that.
It's just golf. So
well, this is what I said last year, was until these guys actually play each other, there's no rivalry.
All right, so here they are.
Where are you making your money, Live or PGA? And the feistiness came from them trying to either take said golfers or retain golfers.
Right.
That was last year. You know, Rory flying the PGA flag, Liv just trying to get all the guys they can into it. But there was, to that point, there was nothing there. Now there's at least a little bit of something, because it is Liv versus PGA on the golf course. And I think these guys are still buddy-buddy. I don't think there's like a lot of animosity per se. But when Brooks Koepka is talking about wanting to play the best competition, wanting to prove something with the live golfers on the course, there's a little bit of an edge. It's just not as fiery as I think people thought it was going to.
Has it always been I want to play against the best players? Like isn't Brooks Koepka always made a bigger deal of the Masters and the Open and the PGA as opposed to the John Deere? Why do we always pick on the damn John Deere, by the way?
I don't know.
It feels like it's a nice tournament. He's always been that guy. So you think out there they're rooting for their high flyers teammates or their fearsome?
He said it after the last event in Orlando. Like, yes, we know major golf's different, but he's also playing against those guys constantly in those other tournaments.
Yeah,
and he's not in live golf, and he voiced that, and so that's on his mind of wanting to show that just because these guys are playing for live, it doesn't change Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, like the big guys at the majors. And so I think this is where we're actually going to get a little something, because last year was just a bunch of noise.
So what do you think we're going to get?
I think it's actually entertaining now. Like, it matters when Brooks Koepka is teeing it off against Scotty Scheffler, because you can talk about live versus PGA Tour. Is it helping these guys out playing less, the no-cut events? And looky here, now the PGA Tour has no-cut events. So things that the live golfers are doing are trickling over. And now that you actually get to see it play out, like on the weekend, I think there's a little bit of something there, because they want to prove we are still who we are, even though we're playing on live.
I think that we're going to have that narrative. It's almost like NASCAR. What car do they drive, right? You know how they put Chevy. I don't think they could put this on the leaderboard, but you watch a leaderboard and you see what car they're driving, right? Yep. You see if it's a Toyota, Chevy, a Ford, whatever. I think there'll be that narrative if it's Brooks Koepka and Scotty Scheffler coming down the stretch and it's a live guy. I think there'll be that. My point was, I don't know that I feel any animosity from the players.
I don't feel any.
And I'm not there, but just listen to what was being said. I don't hear any. Well, Rory said that. Whatever. We'll go shut him up, or we'll see what happens on the golf course, or every single thing. And look, this is narrative, and I know that isn't always how they feel. They're still my buddies. Haven't seen them in a while. Hugged them. Played around with this guy or that guy. Did a practice round, and we're all still playing golf. They play there. We play here.
But last year was a whole lot of nothing that we were trying to hype up.
I don't know. So to me, there's two things. We are trying to hype it up, meaning like there's something there.
Well, the one guy that no one likes is Patrick Reed.
Okay, I'm both towards. Look, there's a division, but I wonder, is the division between the players themselves, or is it outside? Is it the people at the top? I mean, certainly.
I don't think it's the players.
It's Greg Norman. And by the way, don't you think it's a good thing?
There's got to be a little bit. You can't say all the things they said last year, and then immediately not go out there and want to be like, all right.
I'm sure that they want to prove there's a little us versus them. Yeah, I mean it's our tour versus their tour. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
And especially if one of them beats Rory.
And sure. And there'll be a scoreboard, and there's going to be something.
And I think what changes is because the main guys were like Liv has Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson, like true threats,
and Patrick Reed
at these tournaments.
Bryson DeChambeau,
and that's going to factor in.
And Cameron Scott or Cameron Smith,
Dustin Johnson,
Cameron Smith. Yeah, I mean they got eight legitimate guys that you could just name off your cuff and just go. Any one of those guys could win it, right? Could Cameron Smith win it?
I think this is when we finally get a little bit of something. It's not fiery, like greatest rivalry ever, but
when you say something, so what do you expect then on the golf course?
Well, I just think it's actually a valid talking point, because a live golfer is going to be standing next to a PGA Tour golfer on the biggest stage in golf.
Yeah. I'm down with that. I just don't know what I expect. I don't know that I expect it to look. I expect it to sound a little different, simply because there's some narrative to it. I don't know that I expect it to look any different. Does that make sense?
Yes. Because it's not going to be weird if you see Brooksy versus Scotty Scheffler at the end of the.
It's not going to be
Sunday.
weird.
Rory and Patrick
Brooks
Reed
Koepka is out there
But
saying,
you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think if one of the live players does win, I think it'll be definitely a huge statement for live.
Yeah. And it's
if
probably
one of the
bigger
guys
for them,
does,
right?
I would be shocked if all of us aren't there.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't hear that. When did he say that?
He said that after Orlando.
Okay, yeah,
That's what
I didn't even know Orlando happened.
But that's what I've been talking about this week. Like Brooks is like honing in on this as getting back on the same golf course as these guys.
Is anybody else?
And I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Okay, and that's good.
So this is what I'm saying. Like finally, like last year, it was just a battle of where you're playing. But if you want to get at least some intrigue out of it,
so now
get these guys on the same course on the biggest.
So now there's a little bit of something established. They went their ways. We're not just talking about it. Okay, and like with all due respect, I didn't even know Orlando happened. Like
I told you yesterday about it.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear it. Well, I knew yesterday, but before yesterday, I didn't even know Orlando happened.
No one did. But I really thought the Brooks Koepka comments were interesting because he was honing in on being back on the same course on the biggest stage with
those guys,
Rory and Scotty Scheffler.
All right. Is there anything you do want to see? Do you want to
of what you said?
Yeah.
Like they're over there making money. They're happy, but they are not getting.
They're getting none.
That same spotlight.
They're getting no spotlight. It's the right thing for the Masters to not invite Greg Norman. Greg Norman's the president or the CEO of LIV. He's been the guy out there. He's been vocal. It's been all about us versus them. He's been the us versus them guy. Do you have a problem with that?
No,
I don't either. I think the Masters wants it to be about the players, the Masters, and not have him going around there being like what's your WWE guy who's just he's basically a carnival barker, right? There the whole time. I think that was the right move. He thought he called it petty. Now, if he was a former champion, he'd have been invited to the champions dinner and he could have gone and bloviated and run his mouth. But he's not a former champion. He's like a 3-time runner-up. Famously not a champion, in fact. And so that's where it is. All right, well, we'll watch it. It'll be fun. And is there a matchup you want to see down the stretch? I mean, does everybody want to see Rory and Patrick Reed matched up, paired up in the same? I mean, that'd be wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Is I don't know. It seems like Brooks Koepka is competitive, but doesn't have a problem with people. Do people have a problem with him?
I don't think it has to be a problem of the intrigue.
Yeah. No, I agree with
because I think these guys are absolutely, while they're buddy, they're not going to fight each other. The war of words that happened last year, the fact that these guys weren't sure what the major tournaments were going to hold for them once they went to LIV.
Or they're still not sure about the future. They're still not sure about it because we don't know what world golf ranking points are going to be like. And that's something we'll talk with Nick Nee about it at 9 o'clock, the director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. And what does it mean? How about like Saturday or Sunday pairings of like Rory and Reed, Scheffler and Koepka coming down the stretch? I think that'd be wonderful. I think it'd be wonderful. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in, you can. 888-922-0610. Big night in the NBA last night. We're going to, when we come back, the Bucks clinched the East, but did not necessarily win last night. I'll explain that. And the Lakers and Clippers went at it in what they were saying was everything's the biggest game of the year. Big one between the two LA teams. How did it end up and what it means? That is coming up next. Aaron Jones owns IPS. What is IPS? You see them everywhere. International Protective Service. It is private, affordable security. Bad guys are on the increase. The good guys' numbers are on the decrease. You know about it. You hear about it every single day in the news that property crime is real. So I called IPS years ago to protect my home. They come by every single day. When I travel, they stop by a few times a day, do exterior checks, make sure the doors are locked, make sure everything's okay. If there's a package delivered, they pick that up. If you need them to pick up mail, newspapers, so do that. Even roll out the garbage cans on garbage day to the curb and get them back. They give your home that lived-in look. Your alarm goes off, they respond within 5 to 7 minutes with armed, trained, highly trained security officers. Call IPS, protect what's important to you. Don't let a bad guy go in there and destroy everything you've worked for. Their number is 505-897-2420, 897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust. and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and
let's see, 45 minutes away. On the team from the USA, Tiger Woods.
Golf clap.
What do they say? There they say 4. Now driving, Tiger Woods.
And there will be a crowd. Very excited.
And there will be a crowd. Yeah, quite a crowd. All right, a guy named. Well, look at that. We got. Where's my amateur? Oh, there he is. Matthew McLean made bogey. So we got a bunch of guys: Kevin Kistner, Russell Henley, Scott Stallings, Matthew McLean, all at -1. All right, you want to watch any hoops yesterday? Of course.
Always.
A lot of hoops. We got 2 games left of the regular season, and then next week you get playoffs. Lakers and Clippers were big last night. Clippers were up by, at one point, JJ, it was a 24-point lead in the first half. Lakers playing back-to-back, and they played overtime in Utah the night before. Clippers were rested. LeBron had 3 points in the first half, and then all of a sudden they came back. They got it. By the end of the third quarter, now mid-third quarter, what was it, down to like 8? Right? I was thinking, but I didn't make it. I fell asleep. Woke up, and Clippers held on. Big night for Kawhi Leonard. So the Clippers have that 5 spot. Lakers fall into the play-in position as of now, and there's a big talk, about rest and everything else. JJ, I'm going to tell you that the middle of the, let's call it the bracket, but the standings, if let's say the Lakers finish 7th, that's where they are right now. They're tied with New Orleans for 7th. So if they finish 7th, they play the 8th place team, and if they win the game, they get in. If they lose the game, they get another shot to get in. If they finish in the 7 or 8 slot, do you like their chances better in a first-round series against Memphis or Denver, as opposed to them if they finish in the 5th slot playing Phoenix in the first round?
Yes. Because Kevin Durant's going to be the best player on the floor.
So you like them better in if they finish, like the play-in tournament, while they don't get the rest, the play-in tournament might be a better route for them to go deep.
Yes.
Because for them, they can make it 1 game. So the play-in tournament, you got 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 plays 8.
The winner moves on.
That is immediately the 7th seed.
Correct.
The loser will play the winner of 9, 10 for the 8th seed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I mean, I look at it, and I'm thinking, okay, I think they need their rest, and they talked about it yesterday and how they need their rest. By the way, and you got to help me with this, and I know I brought this up, and I know they traveled the night before and the Clippers were fresh, and so I'm not going to sit here and say there's nothing to playing the night before and then traveling and playing in another city, but it sure feels like, I mean, I don't know, they're the most conditioned athletes in the world. Aren't we always told that they're the best athletes in the world? They can't play basketball 2 nights in a row?
The one that I'm listening to is LeBron right now.
Well, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Other
He's
than
hurt.
that,
yeah,
you should be able to play basketball 2 nights in a row.
I mean, right?
Yes. And the Clippers had like 3 days of rest, but yeah, back
Clippers-
to back. That's not, I don't think should be an excuse. It was back to back days, and LeBron was questioning if he wanted to play, but they should be able to play back to back.
And it was, and Anthony,
especially playoff indications are on the line. You're all in.
Anthony Davis played back to back, I think, for the first time this year.
Yeah, I mean, can't believe how much we're seeing him play in general.
Right.
And Kawhi Leonard, I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Well, it matters.
A lot of healthy players here.
Yeah, all of a sudden the
Clippers didn't have Paul George either, so
all of a sudden they can play.
I know. I was like, whoa, this is. I haven't seen all these guys on the court at the same time in a while.
So they can. Did you see the new collective bargaining agreement with the NBA? Right, there's a requirement. So there's 82 games in a regular season, and they're starting to say now that to be eligible for MVP, you got to play 65 games. Do you see that?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it too.
Thank you. I mean,
Put
it even
more
seems
standards
light
on it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing for the NBA: if you want to play 82 game regular season, you might have to add a few days here or there because you want the best product possible. You do want to eliminate as many back-to-backs as possible because you want your guys on the floor. This is always going to be a tough time of year because at this point in time, if your seed is locked up, then I can't complain if the Stars aren't
Well, it's
playing.
like the NFL too, right? It's like anything else.
But
you're resting. Yeah.
You want to make sure that that's still not the narrative 3 months ago versus what we're seeing now, because it doesn't matter if you're playing last night with something on the line or 3 months ago. It's sport. Something can happen. You can get hurt.
Yeah. I was watching one of the ESPN shows yesterday. Mad Dog was screaming, Bird played 82 games, and Jordan played 82 games, and Magic played 82 games.
Of course.
And they all right? and they did. I mean, they were 80 or 78. I mean, it's like, I think Popovich is the one who did this, and he's going to the Hall of Fame, and he came up with with load management, and it's an analytic thing. And look, I mean, does it help? Obviously, let's go to live. Playing less, does it help you? Do you like it? Probably better on your body. But you're paid to play, I don't know. I don't even know if you are paid to play in 82 games anymore. You're paid to play basketball. There's 82 games to go to work and play basketball. It feels like you should go to work 82 times.
And part of this is the screaming heads. We have devalued the regular season. And part of that is players and teams making sure that for the playoffs, and is it the right thing or not? I don't know, but in their mind, they feel that if we take X amount of games away from star players in the season, that will allow us to be better in the postseason.
How have screaming heads devalued the playoffs?
Because if you don't win a championship, you're worthless in sports. No one cares that the Nuggets are going to be the number 1 seed and had a great regular season.
I don't know if I totally buy into that. I think that's the majority of the narrative. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Did the Sacramento Kings have a good season? The Sacramento Kings haven't been in the playoffs since 2006. Going to be the 3 seed.
But I'm saying part of what happens is when teams are hyper-focused, which they should be on the postseason.
On winning a championship.
Is why are we worried about said game in the regular season that we're not going to talk about? But if they fail in the playoffs, that's what we're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what devalued it. I don't know that I think it's the talking heads. I think it's 10 out of 15 teams or 20 out of 30 or 2/3 of the teams making the playoffs. That's, to me, if you want to ask what's devalued the regular season, everybody's in. Now, we got to scramble here at the end because and I understand that by expanding it, you include more teams at the end, and that this baseball's the same way with the added playoff, the added wild card. I understand why, but holy smokes. I mean, we're putting everybody in the freaking playoffs, right? I mean,
in 1 game situation.
But it's still the postseason, is it not? I mean, in some of them it's a 1 game situation, but the wild card's the same way in baseball, but it's still the postseason, is it not? 10 out of.
We'd have less teams playing though.
We'd have more teams taking time off right now, is what you're saying. Yeah, no, that part is right. That part is right.
Like the fact that the Mavericks were somehow, some way this week having to deal with the narrative shutting on Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. That's crazy to me. Like
they're trying to get into a playoff spot, and they're 38-42.
Even 4 games in. Like that's the stuff that hurts. Not to me that 9 gets to play 10 once, and then maybe a chance at the 8 seed.
Yeah, like I said. I mean, we really somehow this is making playoffs better by letting the 9 and 10 seeds have a shot at it. I don't get it, but that's fine. That's the way it is. Bucks clinched the number 1 seed in the East and overall last night. They beat the Bulls 105-92. However, I don't think it was a win because Chris Middleton is down again. And if you recall last year, that was the biggest part of the conversation on the Bucks. And if Chris Middleton was healthy, then they would have been fine. Chris Middleton gets hurt again. JJ, I don't know how bad it is, and I don't know what you've read or I'm finding they lose him and they don't know how bad he is. But this is about as big of a piece of news. It's a knee injury. He left the game, and they've been managing his right knee for a while now. This is as big a piece of news, I think, as injury-wise as there is in the NBA right now, period.
The way the Bucks are constructed, you have Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, who's having a defensive player of the year type of campaign, Bobby Portis around Giannis. That's the edge that makes them the best team in the Eastern Conference. Without Chris Middleton, they're a few steps closer to the Boston Celtics. And that's the Eastern Conference Finals without Chris Middleton. That's a 7-game series.
Right.
That's a coin flip series.
It's a coin flip, 100%. All right, 505-246-0610. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is going to be with us at 8:30. We're going to wrap up the NCAA tournament. Nick Nee, the director of golf in San Diego Golf Club, at 9 o'clock, going to get into the Masters. When we come back, it's never been a thing to invite the runners up to the White House, right? We talked about this yesterday. It's always been the champions. I'm pretty sure it's never been a thing for former presidents, though, to have them over, bring the champions to your place. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
New Mexico United home opener starts next week. And where are you going to go before the game? Because I'm going to tell you where you need to go. It's 377 Brewery. Not only is it conveniently located right around the corner from the park, the Northwest Carviel and Gibson, it is amazing. It's a local place, local owners, local beer, full bar, local spirits, almost 100% scratch kitchen. It's owned by people from New Mexico. It is amazing. They have a huge, beautiful event space for us to throw a pre-game party for New Mexico United as they kick off their season next Saturday, April 15th. So come out. It's going to start at 4 p.m. And I'm very excited because New Mexico United has donated prizes for me to give out to all you United fans that show up. So come out next Saturday, April 15th, starting at 4 p.m. to pregame to kick off your New Mexico United season at 377 Brewery, again on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Mike Weir, Scott Stallings, Matthew McLean, Louis Oosthuizen, Russell Henley, Kevin Kistner, Adrian Moronk, Keith Mitchell, and Min Woo Lee, your early leaders, all at -1 at Augusta Nationals. The Masters is underway. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We spent a lot of time talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and there's no Caitlin Clark to talk about anymore. Right, Iowa finished runners-up. She's Player of the Year. She had a terrific year. And I think we're all on the same page, right? Winners, the champions, get invited to the White House.
Yes.
Runners-up do not. Jill Biden kind of stepped in it a little bit and tried to do the right thing, and bad luck, right? She backed it up. Her press secretary. I mean, are we all on the same page with that?
Yes,
I hope so.
Okay. And I think the White House tried to do the right thing. Oh, we'll send the first lady. It's the ladies' game, and we'll send the first lady, and she'll be there, and we'll celebrate women. And on the surface, it sounds like a wonderful idea, until she put her foot in her mouth. And I mean, you think Joe just finally said, "What did you do? Like, I don't have enough crap going on." Ukraine and Russia and China.
I don't mean to laugh.
Trump and really, you're doing this crap. Like, all right, you don't get to go out anymore. No more games for you. Like, how do you think that conversation went?
I don't know.
No, honestly, there had to be one, didn't there?
But be better.
It's like, what did he look at her? Come on, man. Is that what he says to her? Like,
it's like the participation trophy, Mom. You're like, come on, Mom.
Yeah.
What'd you call it, JJ? The orange slices? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, you did, right? Juice box and orange slices. It's like, come on. All right. So that's not a thing. It's also pretty much not a thing for, and this is not on the Obamas, because I don't think they've said anything for the former president and first lady to host champions, right? That's not a thing?
No.
All right. So Angel Reese is, as you well know, the outspoken young lady champion from LSU. And she says she's not going to the White House. Quote, "I'm not going to lie to you. I don't accept the apology because of you said what you said. I said what I said. And like, you can't go back on certain things you say. I mean, you felt like they shouldn't have come because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spotlight. We'll go to the Obamas. We'll see Michelle. We'll see Barack." End quote. Okay. You see the racial undertones. I don't even think they're undertones. I think they're overtones here, right? You see,
Iowa, Caitlin Clark came out and said, "No, we ain't about that life."
That's right.
The Iowa head coach also was on social media like, "Nope, this is not for us. Thank you."
Yeah.
The whole, we want to earn our way there.
Yeah.
Like, she's making so much more of it. This is her continuing to prove a point that's not there. Like, it wasn't offensive that was floated out there, and they're like, "No, we don't do this. Only winners."
Well, she was offended. Okay, and so this is where I agree with you mostly. I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody what's offensive, right? So if she was offended, I guess it's offensive. But I agree with you that this is her continuing this narrative, that continuing to bang at this and continue. Look, she's got the spotlight. This may be the biggest spotlight Angel Reese ever has, right? This is, people are listening to her, people are talking about her.
This isn't advancing anything for her.
So that's what. Remember, I asked you during the break, and I'll ask you here: what's her end game? Okay. Because now it feels petty. Nope, Jill Biden said that, and she wouldn't have invited us if we would have lost, and she invited them, and we're not going. We're going to the Obamas. And I mean, I haven't heard a word from the Obamas. I'd like to believe the Obamas aren't going to get involved in this. I'm pretty sure the Obamas didn't invite LSU to their private residence where they live in Chicago now, wherever it is they're living. Like, what
I understand that she was offended, but
okay.
she should have. I totally understand. I would be offended if I was LSU, but I'm not trying to make it into a political thing or because of. I would just be offended that they're trying to invite both teams, and they've never done that before.
Bad move.
And that's like an awful move. I would have been like, and I understand if she didn't want to go. I totally get it. Then just drop it. You're like, you don't want to go. You made your point. Let's move on.
Joe Biden.
You don't have to turn into more than what it is.
I'm not.
She has every right to feel offended, though.
I'm with you on that. If she was offended by that, Joe Biden, and I'm not going to get into what you guys talk about over on News Radio, right? I don't care how you feel about the president. The president didn't do this, and evidently the president's the one who's inviting UConn on the men's side, LSU on the women's side, right? He's inviting the champion. Joe Biden did. Jill, the First Lady, made these comments.
It was a mistake.
It was a bad,
I think it was a mistake. She might not think it's a mistake.
I think she does now. I think she does now. Yeah. It was a bad move. It was a mistake. It created this bleep storm. Okay. For Angel Reese, and there's plenty political. A lot of teams wouldn't go to the White House when Trump was president, right? Yep. And you can say, well, they shouldn't go when Biden, and look what Biden's did, and you can put this on Joe when he probably was taking a nap, and that's not fair. When he was going to do something else, and his wife went and got him in this mess. What's Angel Reese's end game here? To go see the Obamas?
I don't know why she's pulling that into it, but she's making her point by saying she's offended and she's not going, and then I think that's enough to say she should end it there.
All right, and maybe
I don't know where her end game is. Let's hope it stops.
Her head coach said if we're invited, I'm going. This may be a fractured team that part of them go and part of them don't.
She's only a sophomore too.
Okay, this may be part of the team goes and part of the team doesn't. But I'm just not sure, here's your out. You know what? Okay, Jill, the First Lady made a mistake. We're going to go to the White House and enjoy our moment.
Yeah.
505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it.
Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a three. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a three, and that's what he does. A three for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a three, and it'll count at the buzzer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
A. Marie Castillo and JJ Bach.
Wow, JJ is like three echoes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, if you want to finish that thought, if you want to get in on the Angel Reese stuff, I'm listening because I want to learn. I want to, what's the end game here? Gopher said that's like saying I don't like the bowl I was invited to, Jeffy, so I'm going to invite myself to another bowl that better fits my agenda. Imagine if another team you weren't expecting shows up at the door of your game 24 hours before post time. It's kind of like that, but it's not. I'm listening. Marie, we were talking during the break. You were saying Angel Reese said they call me hood and they call me ghetto and they call me all these things.
And I don't know who they is, but that's what she said.
All right, so I'm not going to pretend that I followed LSU women's basketball closely. Mm-hmm. I will tell you, I didn't hear that before, but that just again, because I didn't hear it doesn't mean it didn't happen. The only person I heard calling her hood or ghetto would be her, and it feels like she's embracing those labels. Which, okay, fine, like do your thing. I'm not going to tell you, and using that to further, and that's what I keep asking. What is the end game? Is the end game just to say, look, man, we're here, I'm here, people who look like me, like she said, and this is fine, and we're champions. And if that's it, I'm listening to it. I get it. If that's it.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, this is also something that this is what a player gets on social media. The prominent people you listen to are not doing that because they're not on. We're not talking about.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
The stuff that they probably get on social media, when it is a high level situation, when you're in NCAA tournament, there's no doubt that goes on.
Yeah, that's probably right. Somebody's sitting behind their thumbs and feeling pretty brave, right? Yeah, that's probably right. And look, she could have heard it one time and said y'all, right? I mean, we tend to really, really focus on the one or two negative, and maybe there's a whole lot. I don't know. I don't look. I think she's got a real point in some of the stuff she's saying. I thought there was kind of an out here to kind of wrap this thing up in I don't want to say positive because I think positive is coming from a perspective. In a unifying. How about that? There was a way to wrap this up in a unifying way, and maybe that's not the intent. And it feels like she's opted to take it the other way, and I mean, it feels divisive, doesn't it? The racial overtones are obvious. I mean, they're not undertones. They're right there. We're not going to Bidens. We're going to Obamas, right?
Yeah.
We'll see where it ends up. We'll see where it ends up. And you know, JJ said probably as long as somebody keeps putting her, and she's a great soundbite. So somebody keeps putting her on a radio show or on a podcast or on a television show, keeps putting microphones in front of her, she's gonna have something to say. And God bless the young lady, she should. But I hope, precedent's sake, the Obamas say, you know what, we appreciate you reaching out to us, but the White House has invited you, right? That's the right thing there, isn't it?
Yes.
And maybe the Obamas show up at the White House. No, that's not right.
No.
I'm kidding.
But I will respect if she doesn't want to go, that she's offended.
Look,
I
man.
get it. Just do your thing.
But did Joe Biden offend her? Did Joe offend her? Did the president offend her? Well, the president's wife did, and that's an extension of the wife. Right?
Guilty by association?
I don't know. He's probably just looked at her and said, come on, man. What did you say? You got to know better than that. Yeah, that had to be an interesting conversation, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting is, I think, a fair word for the hire in high school football yesterday in the state of New Mexico, JJ. New Mexico high school football got a really interesting coach down south, a prominent coach. Kenny Sanchez has won 2 national championships. Kenny Sanchez was at Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. He's a past National Coach of the Year. And yesterday, Oregon Mountain High School in Las Cruces, the former Oñate High School, now Oregon Mountain, announced that Kenny Sanchez, the brother of Tony Sanchez, is the head coach at Oregon Mountain. Who's Tony Sanchez? Tony Sanchez was the former coach at Bishop Gorman, former head coach at UNLV, former player at New Mexico State, and current wide receivers coach at New Mexico State. JJ, I saw this the last couple of years. I saw this yesterday and started reading over what was going on at Oregon Mountain. They love their high school football in Cruces. This is a big hire. There's some side stories to it. Baggage is a word that's been attached to it. First and foremost, you got a coach with national prominence in New Mexico at Oregon Mountain High School.
Yes, you do. This is an interesting one to me because, in my mind, high school coaching is one of the hardest things you can do because you're not supposed to recruit. It's like you're a district. If a player decides, hey, this is where I'm enrolling in school, you can do that coming out of middle school and the high school, and after that, that's what you got for the most part. So what is he going to do
with the kids in that district?
Yeah, makes it like, oh my gosh. And it's not just the allegations that were thrown out that happened. There's a couple things that start to build up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this worth it for a high school coach?
So Bishop Gorman was a private school. He could get kids from outside the district, and that's how he won 4 state championships in 15, 16, 17, 18 in Nevada at Bishop Gorman. USA Today crowned Bishop Gorman their national champions in 15 and 16. Max Preps called them national champions in 16. Max Preps had Kenny Sanchez National Coach of the Year that season. He was 65-8 at Bishop Gorman. Wow, what the hell's he doing here? Well, things didn't end well there, right? He was arrested back in February of 2017 after failing to show up for a court date relating to a charge of misdemeanor domestic battery. Had a bench trial in 2017 on that charge, was found not guilty. The judge in that case said that she believed that Kenny was being falsely accused by his then fiance. His then fiance recanted her allegation, and he moved on. He resigned from Bishop Gorman in 2020. In June of that year, he went on to Florida. He was head coach at a school in Jacksonville, near Jacksonville. That was just 2 games. He was fired there following an altercation that he had with the school's athletic director. He stayed in Florida, Sarasota, director of football operations prior to 2021 at another high school. So this is interesting. There's some stuff there. No doubt dude can coach football, huh? No doubt he can coach football. It's a football family. There's a connection to Las Cruces. Again, Tony, his brother, played at New Mexico State, was the head coach at UNLV. He's on Jerry Kill's coaching staff. This is must watch all of a sudden when you now start talking about power in high school football. And JJ, your point's so right. So what's he going to do? Is he just going to turn these kids into machines? Like, Is he going to recruit? Are kids going to want to transfer now in Cruces that would go to Mayfield or go to Centennial or something? Will they now want to go and transfer into the Oregon Mountain District to go play for Kenny Sanchez? This one's really interesting, but certainly high profile.
Very high profile.
I think I'm okay with it. I mean, I think I am. I guess I don't know enough. I just know what I've been reading in some of the stories. Somebody's going to have to tell me more, give me a reason not to be. But I think it's a reason to get excited in some respects about what's going on in more high school football going on down in the state of New Mexico and certainly in Las Cruces, no?
I want to know what the kind of altercation gets you canned after just 2 games. And
with the athletic director? Yeah, I kind of do. What is the altercation?
Like, that seems
a
bit intense. No, I don't know. Because if he's really that dude, what
right
get you fired after just 2 games going butting heads with the 80 out of high school?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Update the Masters leaderboard. You got some live guys right at the very, very top as we're early coming up here in 9 minutes on the tee from the USA. Tiger Woods. I'm sorry. That would be 4. Now driving Tiger Woods.
Can't wait.
That's how they do it at
It's
Augusta,
about to
right?
happen.
4.
Isn't it about to happen?
Now driving Tiger Woods. Yeah, it's about to happen. It's the opening drive. Nick Nee's going to be with us at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk about the Masters with the director of golf from San Diego Golf Club. And coming up here in about 20 minutes from now, we'll wrap it up with Jerry Palm. He was at the Final Four in Houston. Get his thoughts about the college basketball season past and moving forward. He, of course, the bracketologist and senior writer from CBS Sports. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud.
Oh, they're making their move. Patrick Reed, Louis Oosthuizen, they're both -1. That's the lead at the Masters early on. What are we? 2 minutes. He's got to be on the tee right now. Right? Do you have a picture of Tiger Woods? Like
Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm waiting for it.
Where are you watching it?
They have on masters.com, they have all the featured groups. And then I have the Twitter up.
All right.
I'm waiting for it to see if it's...
Yeah, 2 minutes away. 4!
Yep, here we go. Yep.
On the tee, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, just go to the Masters website. Yeah. They have all fun stuff for free to watch.
Featured group. There he is. Tiger Woods.
And then you go to ESPN Plus later, then we go to CBS. How does it work?
Yeah, no, I'm on a bunch of it right now. All right. I'm trying to watch it. All right. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. I got a text, JJ. We're talking about the LIV versus PGA thing and how will that be and will the players care? This says, Jeff, is there any comparison to the old NFL, AFL, the PGA and LIV? I think the LIV is great for pro golf. It's fun to watch with the team aspect along with the individual. This thing will evolve. We'll just have to wait and see. I can see that. You given that a little AFL versus NFL thing?
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but they never really played against each other. And that's the difference here, right? They were in their separate leagues and never got on the same competition. Where here, they are. Tella says, on the tee from the USA, Tiger Woods. That's what it says right there. Carl says, keep those Tiger Woods updates coming today, Jeffy. Thanks. You're welcome. Isotopes lost last night. Salt Lake City beat them. Tonight. Bill says the new PCL schedule, Jeff, I really like that the PCL, it's the Pacific Coast League, that's the league in which the Isotopes play, in case you didn't know, went back to split season. It'll add more excitement deeper into the year. I also like that they scrapped divisions. But I was hoping mediocrity slate in 2022 was just an aberration. 6 games in a row is too much to see one club. And what happened to playing the Junior Cubbies in Memphis? We love playing the Chihuahuas, but do we really need to see them like 30 times? It reminds me of the days of the Slammers where they would get Richmond Rhythm and St. Louis Swarm at Tingley Coliseum one weekend and then their gyms the next. So get used to the 6 games thing. That was coming out of COVID. That saves on travel. I think the players seem to like it, don't you? Less travel. Going in, I mean, they're traveling once a week. Staying in a place for 6 days. I think the players like it. I think that's something that you kind of got to get used to. And that's where we are with that.
Tiger's on the fairway.
So he hit his first drive was
yes,
good?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Right. How do I not see that? Yeah.
Right. Live update.
Who's he playing with? He's playing with Xander and Victor Hovland, right?
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good shirt on Victor Hovland.
Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt the Topes talk. I just want to let you know that.
No,
the first drive, Tiger Woods. Just a live update
it's a hell
from
of
the studio.
Hell of a gallery around those guys, too, and it'll follow them all day. So this is going to be the one day of decent weather. I guess tomorrow will be okay, and then it's going to get nasty throughout the weekend. But Victor Hovland's out there as well down there, and we'll watch it. What do you expect from Tiger? We haven't really got into that. I mean, so do you expect him to make the cut, not make the cut, be competitive?
I was with you earlier, Jeff, that with the weather, I know he has said this before, and obviously we know with his health and his injuries, just the weather and walking the course. But I think he'll play good.
Okay.
I'm not expecting him to win the Masters, but I mean, I think we're all just hoping that
you
he
expect
makes the
him to get
weekend.
into the weekend?
Yeah.
All right, where are you on him?
I always hope.
He's played one tournament. It played relatively okay, and pretty good. Not Tiger Woods, y'all, but
can I watch him play today?
Of course, JJ.
No, JJ. No, you cannot.
You have to have a take right now. You have to have an opinion right now.
Yeah.
But it's just unbelievable after this last year. Just he's still playing the Masters. It's just so fun to watch. I just love it.
I think he gets to the weekend near the number, like within one or two of the cut, like either right on it or a couple strokes better. I think he does make the cut, just because I think he's Tiger Woods, and he knows that. Well, I know he's Tiger Woods, but he knows the course so well. I think he finds a way to get around, but I think he's going to struggle on the weekend with the weather, and so I don't think he'll be on the first couple pages of the leaderboard. But I think he does somehow find a way to get to the weekend.
I think majority of us, all golf fans and people watching, all feel the same way.
I think everybody wants that, right? Yeah. And so, I mean, that's kind of what you're hoping for. You want that. But I think, I just think he finds a way to get there. And listen to everybody who's played with him. They say that his game is actually pretty good. It's literally just the stamina and getting around the golf course. And I've never been there, which is one of my biggest regrets in my sport life, and I will at some point. But JJ, they say it's a really tough course to walk. It doesn't look that hard, but I guess there's a lot of undulations up and down, very, very hilly, and they say it's a pretty tough course to get around. So, excellent. Says that intro is groovy as F. I'm glad you like that. And then this one says Tiger Woods updates reporting his failures. Gotta get and love him. Okay. Well, I'll do respect. You don't have to, but a lot of people do. And the greatest player of all time is playing, and we don't know how many Masters he's got left, and the intrigue of coming off these injuries, and people kind of do dig it, and the numbers bear it out. And if you don't, we'll get you plenty of other content. But appreciate you sticking with us on that. I don't know even to tell you, I mean, I kind of is where it is. All right, 505-246-0610. Looking forward to coming up in a few minutes. I'm going to talk some college basketball. Are you sensing Lobo fan angst, anxiety, not hearing names yet? You and I understanding that the portal is a long process.
Are you?
I am.
What are you hearing?
So I just reading the tweeter, the letters to the editor, the speak up. They're really upset that guys have left and those positions have not been formally filled. And you could hear all the names of Sean Bairstow and Nelly Jr. Joseph and whatever other names you're hearing, but they saw all those guys vacate. And I don't know that the Lobo fan, the general Lobo fan understands that guys went into the portal recently. It's going to take some time. And they see that guy committed to Boise State. The guy from Kansas how come we didn't get him? And I am sensing that, and I'm trying to.
They're taking offers. You're going through the process.
Yeah, and people have to understand that, right?
For agency. It's that time.
But do you sense the angst? You don't, huh? Because I do with Lobo fan right now.
They're always going to be on edge.
I think when we get right down to it, and I read some of the speak up stuff today, why are guys leaving? And look, with all due respect to Emmanuel Quach and Barima Sek and even Josiah Alec to some respect, who else left? KJ Jenkins.
Yeah. The ones that Lobo fans, well, there's three.
It was Jenkins, Alec,
Alec, and Johnson.
Yeah.
It's because Johnson was a contributor.
No doubt. It's just 3-year starter.
Yeah. And the honesty is they're recruiting over Johnson and Jenkins because they want more size on the roster.
Yeah.
That's the reality of that. And I think the one that still has some people scratching their heads is Alec. But then you hear that he just wants a year to focus on himself in a different role. Has that opportunity.
I think that's what people have to understand.
The other ones,
it happens everywhere, though. It's not just happening to Lobo.
But that's not the point. If it happens everywhere, I think what gets a little frustrating is, I think I want to see Barima Sek on the roster. At some point in time, you got to have players on the bench. You're gonna have to be a rotation player.
That's right.
You're gonna have to fill the roster.
Not everybody gets.
And those are the ones that frustrate me more so than understanding that Johnson and Jenkins are getting recruited over, so they're going to go try to finish a final year somewhere as a starter. It's the rotation. How are you supposed to ever get a rotation player?
Right. And look, you're bringing all 3 guards back. Are they all starting? I mean, in an ideal world, are
no.
Is Donovan Dent coming off the bench again? Is he your 6th man next year? I mean, that's a hell of a sell if that's in fact the case, right?
Because if all 3 are starting,
you're super small.
Then you're just having the same challenges. You can manage those minutes to maximize House, Mashburn off the ball with getting Dent more time as the point guard, which Tino is going to have to do.
Yeah, I think your point is, and this is what people have to understand, but they won't until probably November, that Javonte Johnson and Barima Sek and KJ Jenkins got recruited, or will hopefully be recruited over. And I'm sure the coaches let them know, look, man, we're recruiting guys in, probably take your minutes. You're going to be, instead of our starter, you're probably going to be number 7th guy, 8th guy off the bench. And guys said, you know what, I want to go play somewhere else. We'll get more into Lobo basketball. And coming up next, we're going to talk to Jerry Palm a little bit about the portal and recruiting and the process. CBS Sports' Jerry Palm's going to be with us. Got to spend some time with him. Actually, I had dinner with him on game night at the Final Four. But we'll talk with Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com and CBS Sports, get his reaction to the basketball season, the Final Four, what it means moving forward, and really, what it means for the Mountain West Conference. What's the thought process from a national perspective? It's next on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
All right, so he is even. Scott Stallings, Louis Oosthuizen, Kevin Kistner, Adrian Moronk, and Patrick Reed, along with Heath Gala, tied 1 under at the Masters. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. We shift our attention now to college basketball, where the college world was focused on Houston and Dallas. It was all in Texas, the men and the women. This weekend, got to spend some time with our friend Jerry Palm whilst in Houston. Always enjoy that. UConn finished off a dominant run through the NCAA tournament, and the Huskies win their 5th NCAA men's basketball championship in the last 24 years. Jerry Palm was there. He is now with us from CBS Sports on the opening drive. Good day, my friend. How you living?
All right. How are you?
Good. Well, thank you. Good to see you. Meet your editors, your co-workers. Just good to spend some time with you in Houston.
Yeah, no, unfortunately we couldn't get you connected with Vicky, but oh well. Yeah, it was good to see there. And of course, your team had a great tournament. Just didn't have enough for UConn. Nobody had enough for UConn in this tournament. So why should they be any different?
I want to start with that. And UConn, there's two pieces on UConn. One, I mean, they were the class of the tournament, and they went through everybody, including Arkansas and Miami and everybody. I was rolling out of there that night. I was listening to CBS Sports Radio, and the guys were yelling, well, that's why we need expansion. We have to expand this thing to 96 because, if basketball's not very good, and if it's all going to be mediocre, add more teams. And I'm like, whoa, more mediocrity is going to somehow make this better. Yeah. Because a high major, and let's not call the San Diego State a mid-major, a high major team was within 5 points with 5 minutes to go and lost by 17 to a team who dominated everybody. Somehow, because that happened, we're going to blow this whole thing up and expand the tournament?
Well, I mean, really, adding more mediocrity does not make it better.
Thank you.
That's the worst argument for expansion I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know who you were listening to. I mean, obviously some of our guys, I don't know all our radio guys, but that's insane.
I thought the tournament, Jerry, was.
There are no good arguments for expansion, but that's easily the worst.
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, this is something that, man, we got plenty of fix in sports. This thing is so damn good. Damn good. If you want to tweak it, the only thing that I can almost listen to, and I don't like this either. If you want to have all of those, so from 68 to 72, all the 11 seeds are play into those 11 seeds for the last at larges. I can almost.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. Well, I mean, what we have now is a compromise. There's no set. By the way, it's just 68. There's no 72. But the reason we don't have all of the play-in games be at-large teams is because the big schools didn't want any of their teams to be in that. Right. And, of course, the smaller schools complained about, we've won our conferences. We shouldn't have to go through this. So what we ended up with was a compromise where it's half and half.
Look, this thing's not broken. Don't fix this.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
so freaking good.
You know my feelings on expansion. I'm in favor of going back to 64.
Yeah, Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the opening drive.
Jerry, when you look at the UConn story, and there is so much talk of, well, this team, now it's a 5th title, but the last few years after Kevin Ollie won, it wasn't rosy for the Huskies. How did they get back to this point with Dan Hurley?
Well, I mean, he's a good coach. So that's part of it. You got players, which you have to have. They've always had good players, I suppose, at some level. But they had a rough stretch after Ollie's championship, which was I think his second year there after Calhoun retired, and then he couldn't maintain it, and then Hurley's kind of starting over. They were never terrible, but I think another big thing was just getting back in the Big East. The American Conference, which is basically the old Big East. They actually inherited the history of that conference when they split. That's I want to say 14 years ago or so. Yeah. And then and UConn stayed, and then went back to the Big East. And I think going back to the Big East really helped a lot because that's a major conference. It just is, and the American has a team or two at the top every year that's really, pretty good. Lately it's Houston, at other times it's been Cincinnati, Wichita State for a bit, where you've had, spurts of elite quality teams. It'll be interesting to see how that league fares now that Houston and Cincinnati and Central Florida are leaving. And they're taking some of the better clubs out of Conference USA, or at least better known ones. And are they going to still be able to maintain that? But going back to the Big East probably was the biggest thing for UConn to get back into what everybody thinks is a major conference.
What does a run like that mean for the Mountain West Conference? Because Conference USA, as you said, a lot of those teams are going to the American Athletic Conference now. But for the Mountain West, San Diego State might not go somewhere. What does it mean for the conference?
No, San Diego State's definitely going somewhere. They're going to be in the Pac-12 as soon as the Pac-12 can make it happen. It has to do. I mean, really, the weight has to do with the broadcast rights more than anything. But yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, it's prestigious for the league to have that kind of a run. It's their first, right? I don't think the Mountain West has ever put a team that deep in the tournament, right? Yeah. So, and even if that team leaves, there's still some momentum for the others. So, and it was a good year. I mean, Boise's in the tournament, Nevada's in the tournament, Utah State's in the tournament. So 4 teams in the tournament. Now they were all, San Diego State's a 5 and everybody else is among the last 7 or 8 teams in the field. But, one of them was a 9. But it's, it's just you've got some momentum going in basketball in the sense that, that you're putting multiple teams in the field. Now you've got one this deep into the field. So for the league, it's definitely good momentum.
Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us. I know we play semantics a lot, and there's terms, mid-majors and blue bloods. And all
which
this.
I don't use, by the way.
Nor do we. And I watched the conference people bristle in the post-game press conference when that term came up. What do you think of the term?
And that's why I don't use it.
Yeah, is high major fair? I mean, for the A10, the Mountain West, the West Coast Conference, Conference USA this year, because there is a difference between. They're not power conference. There's 6 power conferences, but they're not. Yeah. They're not the Northeast Conference or the MEAC or the SWAC either. Is high major a fair term?
No, because if you use the term high major, you're probably going to get people thinking power conference. I mean, the thing is, mid-major came out of the fact that we didn't have a term, right? But once you threw mid-major out there, everybody started referring to themselves as mid-major. So whatever term you have, the Northeast Conference is going to use as well. So I just say, either major conference or power conference or non-major. And for me, it's all one pool. And I understand that there are very vast differences between the top of that pool and the bottom. But I'm not going to come up with a term to try and distinguish between that group, because the line between the upper part of that group and the lower part of that group is much more nebulous.
Yeah. All right. Help people.
And by the way, we'll see how long the Big East, with only one football playing school, can stay a part of that group financially, because it's going to be a lot harder for them to compete when the other power conferences are raking in all that football money, and they don't have football expenses either, but it's not going to be a level financial playing field for the Big East for much longer.
No, and the football schools are getting a lot more money going into these next deals. Hey, help people around here understand the pace of the portal. A lot of people are excited with names in it. Lobo fans are upset. Well, this guy went in. We're losing this guy. We're losing this guy. And why has nobody come in yet? And there's a pace to this, right? They're in the recruiting process, and there's going to be a slow trickle on this. But there's so many names in. Help people. I'm sensing angst.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's hard to track. Like, I'm in the business. I actually would like to track the transfer portal better. And there just isn't a good clearinghouse of information outside the NCAA, but you have to be a school to get that information. So it's hard to follow, but it does tend to pick up after the tournament. And, the coaches, there's definitely some activity, before the tournament ends. Players will go in. Obviously, teams that are playing, their players aren't going in the portal while they're playing. So now that the tournament's over, you'll see names from kids that were competing in the tournament go in. Purdue had a player go in the portal yesterday. And some of these guys are just waiting for the tournament to end, so that they can get people's attention, because, the coaching convention is down there at the same time as the Final Four. And there's just a lot that goes on between the end of the regular season and the end of the NCAA tournament and there's no sense of urgency. I mean, you don't have to make moves in March, although some people do. But you'll start to see transfer. The portal will get busier now, and people will come out of it more now. People will find locations now.
Excuse me, Jerry. What of the coaching moves that we've seen really does intrigue you heading into next season?
Coaching moves. Micah Shrewsbury to Notre Dame. It's a definite upgrade from Penn State. I mean, Penn State men's basketball is the number 4 sport among Penn State fans behind football, wrestling, and hockey. It's really hard to get traction and attention at Penn State in men's basketball. And Notre Dame, I mean, it'll be number 2 behind football, but that's true in a lot of places that are good at basketball. So he's got an opportunity there. The program lost a little bit of momentum near the end of Mike Bray's tenure, and so he's got a chance now to build that back into something that can be competitive in the Big East. And when I say they lost a little bit of momentum, they were in the tournament last year, the last team in, and a co-champion in the regular season of the ACC in the worst year of the ACC that anybody can remember. Not this season, but last. So, you know, it's not like it's a complete rebuild at Notre Dame, but Micah Shrewsbury to Notre Dame, I think, is a really interesting hire. He's an up-and-coming coach at a program that could probably do a lot better. It has got some glory days in their deeper history, my lifetime, but not super recent. So, but Mike Bray took him to a couple of Elite Eights. So, you know, Notre Dame is always interesting, especially in football. But he's an interesting guy at a place that he will probably feel comfortable.
Were you surprised Chris Beard got back in so quickly at such a high profile?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you were going to ask me which place would be, you know, which place could he end up, I would have said one of the Mississippi schools.
Yeah,
but of course, Chris Jans is new at Mississippi State, so that was not really going to be an option. But
right.
Yeah, when Ole Miss opened up, but I really thought he'd have to go down out of the power conferences to find a new job. I didn't think he'd find a new job in a power conference so quickly.
And he did. Hey, appreciate all the time you spent with us over the Thursdays over the last, what it was, since September. And look forward to doing it again starting up next September. I know we always kind of carry this through the Final Four. We were talking with your editor, Jerry, and I've been, this show's 15 years, and I think you're with us a couple of years when JJ and I were working in the closet on that afternoon show. I think we've been doing this 17 years, Jerry, and appreciate the time you spend with us, the information, our audience. And by the way, JJ, Jerry's a star now. Watching him take pictures, San Diego State fans going, hey, I want to get a picture with Jerry.
You know, it's funny how many San Diego State fans would just walk up to me randomly and say, hey, Jerry, can I get a picture with you? I mean, it always, in a sense, it kind of throws me when it happens. Not that it just doesn't happen that often.
It's cool when it
does. It's like, why do you want a picture with me? But yet they do. So, you know, you know, I took several pictures with San Diego State fans this weekend, and that was cool.
It was good to see. Just know I appreciate you, JJ and Avery, and our audience appreciates the time. I'll get something out your way pretty soon, but look forward to doing it again next year. We'll touch base randomly over the summer and do a few of these. But thank you for all the time that you've given our audience over the last 6 months.
I love being on the show. Good talking to you guys.
Be well, Jerry. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
He is the great Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, and just gracious and good guy. I got to spend some time with him this week, and we're really lucky to have a guy like that every week on our show.
I want to go to the Final Four.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
very high on my list of things I want to do.
You would love the Final Four.
Can we work trip next year?
I kind of just did.
I meant as a whole.
As a whole, I think it's in. Where is it next year? Is it Phoenix?
Is it Vegas next year?
Vegas or Phoenix?
Oh my gosh.
Nick Nee, director of golf, San Diego Golf Club, is going to be with us at 9. We're going to talk about the Masters. Tiger's got a birdie putt on number 2 when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do any.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Next in line,
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle on number 2 for Tiger Woods' playing partner Victor Hovland. That puts Hovland in the lead with Adrian Meronk. -2. Xander Schauffele made birdie, also in that same group. Xander's -1. Tiger Woods, y'all, even par, mate, par and par. So you got two dudes at the top, Adrian Meronk and Victor Hovland at -2, and a big group of guys, including Xander Schauffele, Keegan Bradley, Thigala, Seamus Power, Patrick Reed, Sergio, all -1 as we're early at the Masters. Couple of things on Jerry. So Jerry's, and it's good to, from my perspective, have some national media guys with a little juice who are against tournament expansion. I think it's going to happen, and I'll tell you why I think it's going to happen. Because I think coaches want it to happen, JJ. Why do coaches want it to happen? Because it's more access for coaches. Coaches all get bonused on getting to the NCAA tournament. And so it's in their interest to, and they'll say, you know, it's more experience for the student athlete. It's better for the student athlete. They get, you know, more people get to go. They'll set the percentages. But man, it ain't broken, is it?
It ain't broken.
And so from my perspective, if you got a good national voice like Jerry, who people, and it's amazing. Remember when we started with Jerry, he was running that, what was his online site, like bcssomething.com?
Yes.
Right? Like that was his website, and he got absorbed by CBS and became their main bracketologist guy. It's really cool. All right, we're looking forward to welcoming Nick Nee back to the show. The director of golf out at the Sandia Golf Club is going to be with us next. He's on his way to the Masters. But with the Masters underway, looking forward to hearing what one of the local pros has to say about it. Talking golf with Nick Nee next. Who's going to win from his perspective? And is Tiger a media-created sensation, as it says on my text line? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I'm Taylor.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Buck.
JJ Buck.
So cool.
Victor Hovland, Adrian Maronk leading the Masters at -2. A pack of players, one stroke back at -1, including Xander Schauffele and Patrick Reed and Sergio. And John Rahm made bogey on number 1. Tiger is even par after 2. Good morning to you. The Masters is underway. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie. We'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. I've missed this gentleman on our show. He's one of our favorite regular guests that we've had over the years. JJ, you and I have been, well, this show's 15 years old in July, and Nick has been one of the best contributors we've had. And he's on his way to the Masters. I think I hope he's packed his rain gear. He is the director of golf out at the beautiful San Diego Golf Club. Nick Nee joins us. Good morning, Nick. How you living?
I'm living well, Jeff. Thanks for having me. I don't know that I'm the best. I'm just lucky to join the best and you and JJ and your guys' team, but I'm living well. Happy Masters Week.
Happy Masters Week. It's good to have you back on it. John Rahm just made double bogey. He missed the comebacker, so he's +2. You're headed out there, and this is I look. There's a million stories. I want to start with the obvious, and I asked JJ earlier. Do you think? Ooh, tough chip for Tiger. Do you think the Live versus PGA thing is more of a media creation, or is it really the big storyline? Like when we're walking down on Sunday and we got golfers, are we going to put a league next to their name, or is it just going to be there's Patrick Reed and Xander?
Yeah, great question. I think it's kind of case by case. I think some individuals on the PGA Tour are upholding the legacy of the tour that they built and fortunate to play. Like Fred Couples and things of that nature. But I think this week, and really any major, in my opinion, you want the best players in the world. So I hope it's not that. I hope it's just a celebration of seeing the best players. We all want it as consumers, and we want to be entertained by the best. I certainly hope that it's not it's not one team against the other. It's not red versus blue or anything like that. These are the best players, and they get to play on the biggest stage, and we all want that, I feel like, as consumers to watch. I hope it's not the case, but I guess we'll see how that leaderboard looks come Sunday morning.
You're a PGA pro, and golf is your profession. This is what you do. Do you see this continuing to move on as a split, or do you see at some point, there's 2 separate leagues, but we're going to see these guys play together more than maybe just 4 times a year?
For me as a PGA professional, obviously the PGA brand is, at my core, and believe in the values of the PGA of America and the association that I'm fortunate enough to be a part of. I hope that they can coexist, honestly. I hope that if whether LIV becomes an exhibition type thing and the PGA Tour just really has the 8 months out of the year and their majors and FedEx Cup playoffs. I think that players are going to have to choose, but I also feel that competition is great. So, competition has moved the PGA Tour forward when it was really kind of stagnant for a while. And so I think it progressed the PGA Tour maybe a little quicker than they wanted to, but competition is good. Just like this week, we want the best players in the world to compete.
Yep.
And really for those two tours to probably succeed, we almost need them to compete in a way.
Can I follow up with one thing? And I've had this talking point this week, and I don't know what there is to it. We hear about load management in the NBA, and we hear, well, Tiger's got to play. LIV's played 3 tournaments. They play 3-round tournaments. The PGA has played a pretty full schedule with really competitive fields. Is there any advantage to the guys who have been playing competitive golf as opposed to the LIV guys who haven't played as much?
Absolutely. Good take. I feel like they do. You look at Scotty Scheffler at the match play, played 7 rounds of high competitive, very efficient and unbelievable golf. And, when you just go out for 54 holes and, they keep score and there's things, team scoring and things of that nature, but you're not stressed to the max where you have to execute shot by shot by shot. So I feel like the amount of play that the PGA Tour guys have had could potentially bode extremely well for them come the weekend, especially with the challenge of weather. They'll be able to kind of have the mental toughness, if you will, to kind of push through because they've been, I would assume that the leaders, we'll see how it comes out at the, when the cut's made, but those guys they're used to that grind. They're used to being in that situation. And when you kind of keep yourself in that realm, you know how to react. And Augusta teaches you how you need to react and you need to understand how to have some mental toughness because you're going to be tested regardless of weather. You're going to be tested on executing golf shots. And if you're not used to that type of routine and rhythm and mental fortitude, then we'll see how it plays out.
Nick Nee, San Diego Golf Pro, joining us here on The Sports Animal. Nick, we see in major tournaments, they rotate, they go to these courses. Sometimes they can make them longer, but there's only so much you can do at Augusta National, and yet it is still a challenging course for these players. It presents, difficulty every single year where it doesn't change as much. How does it do it?
Well, I'll tell you this, JJ. It's an unbelievable golf course off the tee. I feel like it's extremely favorable. If you can kind of see the sidelines and execute to the picture that you have in your mind off the tee. But that golf course is just tests you every way you can possibly imagine into every green that you hit. I heard a quote the other day listening to Live at the Masters on the Golf Channel, and they mentioned that you have to be conservative in the target that you pick on the green, but aggressive into that target. And when you try to be aggressive into the flag, that's where you get yourself in trouble out there because you short side yourself. You really only have a 4-yard radius to land some of these golf balls. But that landing spot is going to be 40 feet away from the flag because if you go at the flag, you have no room for air. So you have to pick conservative targets, but be aggressive into those targets. And if you're not committed, hitting into those greens is such a challenge because they are so undulating and they have so many different humps and bumps and moves and intricacies to them. That's why Augusta National is going to stand the test of time because off the tee it's great. It's picturesque, but, man, you better be on point and target you pick into that green.
So when it comes to that, who impresses you, who really stands out at being able to attack those pins?
Someone like Max Homa, great iron player, Tommy Fleetwood, people that are, great ball strikers. So again, I love Max Homa this week. And I feel like with the weather and the short game having to be what it's going to need to be, Jordan Spieth looks extremely well to me. And I don't know if you all know, but the last 2 Easter Sundays that a tournament finished on, Jordan Spieth was the winner. So we'll see if we can make it a three-peat.
Yeah, Marie said yesterday, every time he's played, when the Masters Sunday was on Sunday, he's undefeated. So it's a good one. He's Nick Nee, the director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. We've gone, 9 minutes, haven't said Tiger Woods' name. He just made bogey on number 3, so he's +1. But anytime he's there, it's legit. I got this text, and it says nothing's more media-created hype than Mr. Tiger Woods appearing at the Masters. At least he hasn't said he's playing because he thinks he can win. I'm like, is that media-created hype? First of all, he said he is playing because he thinks he can win. As a guy who is a pro, this is your profession. This is what you do. Is that hype? Is he just there as a ceremonial guy? What does he mean to you and to your game as you go to Augusta today?
Well, I think for us in the business of golf and the industry of golf, Tiger Woods is the biggest name that drives the most amount of buzz for us. And it's talked about every day. It's been talked about for 2 weeks here at San Diego Golf Club. And for Tiger, he's not going to enter a tournament just for hype or attention. And that's just what, obviously, media and publications that you read, the man thinks he can win. And the tough thing for him is going to be his stamina and his health. But for us on the side of the business that are fortunate to work in it, he creates such a buzz. He creates such an excitement around the game of golf. It's unrivaled to anything else, in my opinion, in sports that I've seen. Granted, I have a biased opinion because I'm in the business of golf, but it's unbelievable. You know, people just ask, what do you think Tiger's going to do? Do you think he makes a cut? Do you think this? And it's a great conversation piece, but it's Tiger Woods, so he's not going to enter a tournament if he doesn't think he can win. But for our industry, we need someone like that because it brings joy and excitement and a talking point to our guests.
Yeah, I've been asked all the time, what do you think Tiger does? I said, I think he knows the golf course well enough that he makes the cut. Now, it might be close to the number, but I think he finds a way to get around. I just think he's going to struggle in the weather that they're talking about with that leg coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. You look at what he did at Southern Hills in Tulsa last year, you know, the weather creeped in on Saturday, and, you know, it could be a similar situation. I hope it's not. But I think you guys hit it square on the head and absolutely 100% correct earlier in the segment or in the show. You know, I think he does make the cut. It's one of the easier cuts to make. Top 50 and ties. So, you know, you're not competing against a 160-man field. You got the top 50 out of, I don't know what the total number was because they just had a withdrawal this morning, but it's one of the easier cuts to make. But I hope he can push through and make the cut because the Masters brings a level of excitement. Obviously for us here, it's the start of our season, so to speak. But then you add Tiger into it and viewership will be up and the excitement will be through the roof.
All right, we're looking forward to having you as a regular back on with Golf Tips on Friday. Let people know, you say it's kind of the start of the season, and I think for a lot of people, okay, let me find my sticks, let's get out there, let me start stretch, let me go to the range, or never mind the range, let me just go, oh, why did I shoot 102 on my first game out? Why is that? Let people know what you got going on at San Diego Golf Club and how they can be part of it.
Absolutely. Check us out, sandiegolf.com. We'll have daily deals up there. You'll be able to see a ticker at the top of our website for any special deals. All of our current rates are online at sandiegolf.com. Come out and see us. Put the score aside. It's the beginning of the golf season for us here in the great state of New Mexico and the wonderful city of Albuquerque. Go out and just play some golf. Find the best place to play. If you want to find the best deals for us, check us out at sandiegolf.com.
Safe travels. I know you'll enjoy yourself. You and I are living pretty charmed lives, man. We've been at two of the biggest events in our country over the last couple of days. Go have fun. Look forward to catching up with you next week.
Absolutely. Appreciate you all having me. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nick. He is Nick Nee, was the head PGA professional, now director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. He's living a good life, huh? He's getting on a plane going to Augusta.
Very good.
It's pretty good living.
I hope he has the sandwiches.
Pimento and cheese.
And like the egg salad sandwich.
I hear they're still super
everything's
affordable.
Like $3, $2. I just want to try everything.
I know. Just go do it.
I mean, I'm more than that. I want to go watch the golf there, but
just
I
the
want
whole
to try the
experience.
menu.
No, the whole. If you go to one of these events, I mean, the game, the match, the competition, it's real. But you just got to sit down and soak it up. You just got to like look around you.
Yeah, because they know that the secondary market gets you for thousands of dollars. So they're like, here's your $1.50 cheese sandwich. Thanks.
Yeah, on Wonder Bread. I'll get you a leaderboard when we get back. There's some movement. You got a guy, a former Mountain West guy, with a chance to tie for the lead. I'll tell you who that is and what's going on. We'll update you on the Masters, reset you, and open up the phone lines at 505-246-0610 as soon as we get back. You know what used to be, and it wasn't that long ago, if you were losing your hair, if it was thinning, you just had to deal with it. Right? Losing one's hair was natural for many people, and there was nothing you could do about it. But that's not the case anymore. Talking to both men and women who might be dealing with hair loss or thinning hair, there absolutely is something you can do to get your hair back, and it starts with an easy call, the New Mail. The number is 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or you can go online at Newmail, NUMALE.com. This cutting-edge technology has helped thousands of men and women reclaim their hair. The pros at NewMail walk you through the options, and then you choose the best option for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle. It stops hair loss so you regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser that is proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. Get your hair back. Make the call. NewMail's number is 505-652-1688 or online at newmail.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs.
West guys. Yep, 2 Mountain West guys at the top of the leaderboard right now. Adam Scott is -2. Xander Schauffele -2. Both from the Mountain West. Adam Scott, UNLV. Xander Schauffele, San Diego State. Victor Hovland, Oklahoma State, -2. And Cameron Young from Wake Forest, -2. It's your early leaders. Tiger made par on number 4, so he's 1 over. Do we think of alma maters when we think of golfers, or only with Ricky Crowley because he wears orange all the time? John Rahm, Arizona State, right? I mean, some guys you do. I guess if you there's an affiliation. When Lumpy was on the course, you always did. Back in the day. All right, 505-246-0610. Let me give you some stuff. Surprised. Somebody hasn't posted a combination of 40 hours ago this weekend. Jimmy V chasing. I don't even understand what that means. Chasing Caitlin Clark around the floor. All right. Tournament expansion. We talked to Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. He was with us. Talked about expanding the tournament. I'm not for it. I don't think you're for it. Jerry wasn't for it. Dan says the tournament expands. Jeffrey E. Ana Maria. Left you out, JJ. I think the tournament expands because it means more coaches get bonuses. It's the same reason Chicken Bleep Juan Jose State wouldn't play New Mexico State. They were safely in a bowl. Their coaches had already been paid. If the shoe were on the other foot and the Spartans needed a game, they wouldn't have been able to get to Las Cruces fast enough. It's from Dan. That's interesting. Remember football season, right? New Mexico State had to schedule that Valparaiso game just to play a 12th game. They had to appeal to the NCAA to get bowl eligible because San Jose State had a death in their football team. Remember, there was a young man who was hit by a bus like the Friday before the game. He was killed. They didn't play the game and then didn't reschedule it. And he's probably right. Dan's probably right. If San Jose State needed to win that game to get bowl eligible, they probably would have found a way to play it. He's probably right. I don't know if it's incredibly analogous, but okay. Tella says it's like 90 and sticky at Augusta right now, Jeff. Isn't it amazing? This weekend, the thermometer will struggle to get out of the 40s. How do you like the idea of them moving the Masters to a little later in the spring when hopefully they're safe from these insane temperature swings? They just always play it the second weekend. Is that right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
Is Easter always the second Sunday? Because it's not always Easter Sunday.
No.
Okay.
It changes.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, whenever they play it, I'm going to watch it.
We're going to try to get on to Grandma's house on Sunday.
Are you?
Yes, I know majority of the crowd will want to watch.
All right. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
tough
it should
for
be.
some people, though, but Easter's busy for some people.
Easter's busy for many people. No, Easter's a big deal. But I mean, look, the U.S. Open always ends on Father's Day. Not quite Easter.
No one's getting on your phone.
I understand that. There's always football on Christmas. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about it. How do I feel about the moving it later? For the weather, has weather been a big issue, or is it just kind of an issue this year? I mean, weather's changing. Extreme weather's been real everywhere. If you watch the tornadoes ripping through, not just regular Tornado Alley, but going north in crazy places, weather's been an issue. It was 40 freaking degrees the other day. Was it the low of like 9 in Taos yesterday? I don't know. I'm okay with that. Whenever they play it, I'll watch it. Rod says, who wants to come here, Jefferson? What are we talking about? Talking about basketball? He says, you see these businesses that have permanent health wanted signs up. You ask their HR mouthpiece, she'll say it's because they're always expanding and folks are moving up. But if you do your own research, you usually find out they have massive turnover. There's a reason people are leaving. It's a crummy place to work. If you're looking at new clubs, why would you want to jump into local basketball where half their roster just bailed? Rod, half of everybody's roster just bailed. This is where you guys just start looking around. What's the number of players in the portal?
Like 1,000.
That's what I was trying to say
What's
earlier.
north of that?
It's happening everywhere.
The average is last year it was an average of 5 players per Division I team, not just yours. The average Division I basketball team had 5 players going to the portal. I mean, I guess you could rip on this place if you want to. What you got to do, but if that's your rationale, I'm going to tell you, I think you're wrong. You got to find something else. You think Javonte Johnson left because there's health wanted signs and there's turnover in businesses, and that's why he transferred? That's why KJ Jenkins left the Lobos? Come on. You think that's why a guy's not going to come in for an opportunity to play basketball and get an education at UNM because the insurance company down the street or McDonald's or the
No, because he'll be making more money at UNM than he would at those places.
I mean, what are we doing? That's all. Gene says, here we go, more weather. The most Albuquerque thing ever. Next week it's supposed to be in the 70s when isotopes are on the road. Okay. Enjoy it. Go play golf. You want me to tell you? All right? It's where we are. I think, I don't know. JG, do you think old school fan who romanticizes about the 4-year, the Royce Onlys, the David Gibsons, like that club, that wonderful club with Royce Only, David Gibson, Clayton Shields, Charles Smith, Kenny Thomas, Greg Shorenstein, like those guys were all 4-year guys at UNM. They all went to the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row. They all won a game in the tournament 4 years in a row. Like that wonderful period from like 95 to 99. Fan who remembers that? Do you think
2010 to 2014.
And then the 2010, 2014, there were some transfers in there. Drew Gordon, I think, really was the only one, right? So you and Tony Snell left early. Did Alex Kirk leave a year early too, right? Or maybe he stayed. Anyway, do you think that fan's ever going to get over it and realize, or is this just an annual thing? You're gonna lose your mind when the season's over and guys transfer out.
Yes.
Never gonna get used to it.
No. There's a couple that I understand it, but then I get the frustration. It's not just, everyone's leaving. It's, well, how are you supposed to have a rotation player? How are you ever supposed to have a bench? That's a little bit of the frustration.
Well,
like
and
Brima Sek, I think would be great. Brima Sek, Sebastian Forsling, I want those guys on the bench, despite some people screaming, because you're not going to have 10 starters on a team. Like someone's going to have to play a role, and that's what's a little frustrating is you've lost all your role players.
Let me give you an example. How deep was San Diego State? They had 9 dudes playing. They had 4 guys coming off the bench and accepted their roles. By the way, not with big NIL deals, but basically getting $2,000 a month. Somebody's going to have to come off the bench. Now, maybe those are going to be the freshmen. And then you're going to hope that they stick around and they're the future of your program, right? Toppin and Washington, who are coming in, and maybe, Donovan Dent, right? Are those going to be your role guys?
You're going to have to play young guys a lot early on the wing.
Well, it's really interesting because you hear a lot of people, Richard Pitino, Doug Gottlieb says this all the time. You got to get old and stay old in college basketball. And how do you do that? With continued transfers. Like I think, and we'll see, I think most of the people who are really upset about the guys that are leaving are going to feel better when guys come in, right? When you see who fills it, when you start getting names and more so even in November when you actually start seeing, wow, maybe they were an upgrade. Maybe that guy's a better shooter than KJ Jenkins. Oh, that guy is better at the 3 spot than Javonte Johnson. Okay, right? Once you start seeing it, maybe you'll feel better until March when you lose another 4 or 5 guys into the transfer portal. I just think you're going to help your mental health and do so much for your sanity if you just understand what's going on and accept it and realize, man, the day of the big senior classes that have been here for 4 years at places like this are probably in the past.
Oh, they're in the past, not probably.
And but some places, right, you're going to find, some of the lower majors that, I don't know.
Nope.
The score from Oral Roberts is in the portal. That they're a great score.
Max Asmus.
And where are you seeing? Where are you seeing? Because San Diego State fan thinks they're getting him. Now, I don't know why they think that. I mean, I think they think they're getting everybody right now because of the run they just had. It'd be something to add to this league, wouldn't it? Something to watch. Even if they're leaving, they're not leaving next year. They're still going to be around next year. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. That's how to get to us today, as every day. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and A. Marie. I'll update you on the Masters scoreboard and the movement that's going on early. And I was walking down the hall, and this guy, a fan of a team other than the Jets, said, Rodgers is coming to us? Can that be? Which team was that? And what's the validity of that possibility? Springtime is tax time, is fun time. What are you going to do with your refund? How about using part of that refund to protect one of your largest investments? May I suggest you take a little bit of that refund and call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Have them come out to you, meet you at your convenience, where it's convenient for you, when it's convenient for you, and have them detail your vehicle. That means inside and outside and under the hood and around the rims and under the seats, and like the day you took it off the lot. It'll feel brand new. It'll look brand new. Look, you're going to have that vehicle for a while. It was just a report out that says it's one of the toughest times ever to buy a new and used car because it's so expensive. Protect your investment. Protect your vehicle. And ask them about a fresh coat of wax or ceramic coating. It'll protect your car from the intense New Mexico sun we're going to get this summer. They offer a lifetime warranty. It starts at just $250 for the wax and ceramic coating. Our military receives a 10% discount. Call and schedule 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com.
Your money bracket is busted.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A South Midwest tradition, beautiful and durable, the perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture, you're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right.
Are ripping it up on the course at Augusta. Cameron Young. Birdie start. Cameron Young, -3 at the top of the leaderboard. Xander Schauffele just made a long par save. He's in a group at -2, one stroke back. Sergio's there. Victor Hovland, Adam Scott, Justin Thomas, all in that group at -1. Tiger Woods, y'all, made a bogey on number 3. He is 1 over after 4, tied for 27th at the Masters. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie. So I'm going to read this to you. I mentioned that the somebody sent us that text about San Jose State and New Mexico State, and so the Aggies had to go play Valparaiso. Do you remember the situation where they had to play Valpo? Why they played Valpo at the end of the season? They were 5-6, looking for a game nobody would play. Right? San Jose State said, "Yeah, no, we're good. We're bowl eligible. We're not coming down there. Even though we're contracted, we're not." There were like a few other teams who had a game that they could schedule. One of them was James Madison, right? Nobody would play them. They found Valparaiso. Valparaiso came out. They beat them 100-0 or whatever it was. Text line says Valparaiso football is an intramural program, intramural in capital letters. Fact. Pathetic old New Mexico State to schedule something like that. Waivers, intramural teams, 4 D1 victories, illegal out of bounds, late hits in a bottom-tier bowl. Oh, yeah, Jarrett Kill is God. I forgot. He's right that they only had 4 Division I victories. That party's right. One of them was over New Mexico, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They beat the crud out of Liberty, which was a pretty good team, isn't it? But you're right. That's what did you want them to do? I mean, to whoever the texter is, like, should they have not appealed for a bowl game? Should they have said, nah, never mind? Should they have not tried to schedule a 6th game for them? What do you want them to do? Did their football team do something wrong? I mean, I understand your animosity towards basketball. Did their football team do something wrong? I mean, I don't know. I missed it if they did, wherever that comes from. All right. So I'm walking down the hall. I get Rodgers coming to us, huh? I'm like, well, I don't know. And it was really convicted. Aaron Rodgers of the 49ers is a possibility. He's like, that's the lowdown. That's what people are saying. If the Jets can't pull it off, he's going to the 49ers. Would you be surprised if secretly somewhere that happens? There was some talk on NBC Sports yesterday that the Niners could get involved with a trade, that the longer this thing goes on, that they don't pull the thing off with the Jets, that the Niners are getting involved and they could pursue it. They could package up something, whether it's Trey Young, whether it's it's my guy's name that got hurt.
Trey Young.
Trey Young. Trey Lance.
Brock Purdy.
Trey Young. Yeah, he's still short and he could shoot though. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance. Something in there. Do you think this is completely out of the realm? Because this wouldn't surprise me, man.
No.
And the 49ers make more sense than the Jets.
If
you can keep Trey Lance.
Do you have to keep Trey Lance?
I would rather keep him because if you just get a 2-year window with Rodgers, have Lance back there.
Let me ask you this.
I don't think the Packers. I do not think the Packers are interested in just a bunch of young quarterbacks on the roster.
I think that's right. No, I think that's
do what
right.
they got with Jordan Love this year and go.
So what would the Niners be able to package to send over to the Packers? What would the Niners be able to give that's way more conducive, enticing, better than whatever the Jets could send? Because if you already got a quarterback, Jets seem to have better draft capital. And the other side of this is, you said if you can keep Trey Lance. Are you convinced Trey Lance is a better long-term than Brock Purdy?
Am I convinced? No.
I'm not either. But I'm not convinced either way, by the way. I'm not convinced that Brock Purdy's better than Trey Lance. Now, I'm not in the building every day. I'm not in practice every day, so I don't know who's better. If I said to you now, where do you think he's going? It would still be Jets, would it not? But the Niners have to be somewhere in this conversation. What would you package? What? Some people say it's ridiculous. There's Yardbarker says, well, no, it could be there. It could be there. What you can't do? I don't know, man. I could totally see a headline break in and they throw a curveball. I mean, what would be more Aaron Rodgers than to look one way and throw the other? Right? Well, I want to play for the Jets, and all of a sudden, oh, he's going home.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Hardly, right? Hardly. And all of a sudden, that makes the Niners, I mean, depending what they give up, but no matter what they give up, right? No matter what they give up, all of a sudden it makes them legit. What would that package look like? Because I'm scrambling everywhere to try to find, the people who are saying this. Here it is. But what would it look like?
See, like picks and a defensive player.
49ers have no picks in the first or second rounds this year. They have a lot of thirds, but the Packers, I mean, what do they run?
This comes down to April 25th. There's not that's the deadline if the Packers want to make sure they get something from this year's draft.
Well, they'd have to give up one of their best receivers, right? I mean, they'd have to give up. By the way, Tiger just missed a par putt and has got a little tricky one for bogey. They'd have to give up something, right? But I mean, you figure you okay? Who's off limits? Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Is everybody else we're having a conversation about? You throw Aaron Rodgers in with whatever they got, and I got Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey to get started with.
Feels like more if this goes beyond the draft and the Packers and Jets can't figure out compensation, then San Francisco would become involved because you're looking at next year's assets.
Well, yeah, they have no assets for this year in the draft. Yeah, the Niners don't to
so
take over.
When that clock starts ticking, probably even just heading in the second round, because I don't think a first-round pick is going to be involved for Aaron Rodgers.
Sounds that way.
Like, that's when we have a definitive timeline of, all right, is this going to get done or not with the Jets?
I think it's more too just going all in to try to get a Super Bowl because they've been really close recently.
Well, and they've got
I think Aaron Rodgers has more likely to win a Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers than the New York Jets.
Right now, they signed a quarterback. Did they? Who's their quarterback opening day? The Niners right now, if they stay intact.
Sam Darnold.
It's Sam Darnold.
It's Brock Purdy. Depends
Brock
how the
Purdy,
surgery goes.
right? Because they got injuries to Purdy and to Trey Lance, right? Yeah. I mean, I've been listening for 2 years. They're a quarterback away, right? That's all they need. They had Jim Garoppolo. They got to the NFC Championship game. Brock Purdy came out of nowhere, looked like Tom freaking Brady. Didn't lose a game until he got hurt. Like, do you realize he's undefeated except for the game that he got knocked out? He's never lost. He's freaking LeVar Ball. Undefeated. Never lost. I don't know, man. Just think about it. This would not surprise me if the Jets blew this one and it ended up in San Francisco's favor. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Another birdie for him. Cameron Young -3. He's leading the Masters. Tiger +2 after 6 holes. Opening drive, taking you home on a Masters Thursday. What you going to do today? I'm going to sit on my tuchus and watch the golf all day. Huh?
That's it.
Eat cheese and palmetto sandwich. What's palmetto? I don't even know. Just eat cheese sandwiches on white bread? All right, on Wonder Bread. 505-246-0610. Dan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Dan.
Hey, fellas, I got to say this about Aaron Rodgers. I know the media pumps him up, but let's call him for what he is. He's a palooka. He's a straight-out palooka. This guy has won one championship in 18 years.
Yep.
Every time the Packers win, and Packer fan, you're listening, year in and year out, oh, yeah, they get in the playoffs. And what happens? They fold up like a cheap card table, these guys. And that's what Aaron Rodgers is famous for, okay? The Jets, that's where you go to die. Any career goes to die. That's where you go. As far as the Niners going, you could have Aaron Rodgers. I guarantee you this. You won't get in the Super Bowl. You may get in the playoffs, but this guy is going to fold up. He's got a history of it, and he's shown it time and time and time again. And not only that, you got to put up with his attitude. He's got a crappy attitude towards younger players and the team around him. This is what you want? I don't know. I trade him for a bag of balls if I was Green Bay, because that's all this clown is worth. And it's time the media starts talking about what he really is. He's a loser. Every time you watch highlights of him, he's playing against the Detroit Lions or the Chicago Bears, okay? I could throw against them, all right? This guy has proved nothing after 18 years in the league, and I think it's a lot of hype on the media, man.
Hey, Dan,
and that's all I got, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Dan, become a regular caller. Don't lose our number. That guy's beautiful.
Dan is my best friend.
That guy's
We know
beautiful.
I'm a big NFC North girl. That's a legendary call.
Well,
right there.
all right, so where have we seen him last in the playoffs? As a 1 seed at home, putting up 3 points against the Niners, right?
If he joins the Niners.
And then if he joins the Niners, I mean, then he could put up 3 points for the Niners. He's not wrong, man. The guy's won 1 Super Bowl. Now, he's a Hall of Famer because his numbers will tell you that. He's been spectacular in the regular season. You know, we used to talk about Peyton Manning this way. Until Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl with the Broncos, and you're gonna tell me he didn't win it. No, he did. He did. We talked about him being the best regular season quarterback in the history of the game. Right? Remember having these conversations? How he was great, but he would run into Tom Brady and he would get beat, and he had 1 Super Bowl. Then he won the second and kind of put him in another place. I mean, I don't know. Is Aaron Rodgers the best regular season player in history? He put up great numbers. He's won 1 Super Bowl. They've had teams that were good enough to win. They've been 1 seeds and couldn't get through the first round. I don't know that what he says is wholly accurate, but I don't think it's wholly inaccurate either. Who is Aaron Rodgers?
He's a dude that you're giving 2 years to. And if you're telling me you don't want Aaron Rodgers for 2 years on the New York Jets, that makes a ton of sense. But 2 years of Aaron Rodgers on the 49ers, I think could be very successful.
So I'm going to argue with you both ways because while I agree with everything Dan said, if I'm the New York Jets and I'm looking at what I am right now, and you're going to say, look, let me take 2 years and I'll take a shot. I might not win a Super Bowl, but you know what I'm not doing now? Making the freaking playoffs. So let me take a shot and see if I can get lucky. No, I would take 2 years of Aaron Rodgers if I'm the Jets because I haven't had a quarterback since Joe Willie Namath.
I would too. I think it's better for Rodgers if he went to a better football team.
And I would take him if the Niners because I'm the Niners and I've got 3 question marks.
And to his point, though, the thing that makes a lot of sense with the Niners, that ain't a young football team.
No, it's they feel like they're right on the precipice. Now, is he the guy that gets him over? I mean, like what did your guys say? Did they call him a loser? I don't know if he called him a loser, but he said he's not a winner. He's won a Super Bowl.
Regular season winner.
Oh, he's a great regular season winner. He's put up great numbers. Like he's really good.
MVP.
But if I'm both of those clubs, I can't make an argument that I'm not better with Aaron Rodgers. Now, what's it going to cost me to get him? Would Aaron Rodgers have to take a pay cut to go to the Niners? I think he probably would because I think their cap situation, he wouldn't be able to make as much. Would he be able to do that? Or would he be willing to do that and take a shot at a second ring? Look, Aaron.
4 one-and-done appearances in the playoffs for Aaron Rodgers.
That's a lot, man. In 18 years. Do you think he doesn't talk about this? And really the only media he does is Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee doesn't ask him this. Do you think
12-year career for Aaron Rodgers.
Do you think winning a second one is a big deal to him? Some guys talk about it, right? And he doesn't. And he'll tell you flat out, in his Aaron Rodgers super low. Now, I'm content. I've had a great life. I've had a great career, and in his Aaron Rodgers way, he would tell you. But don't you think, so much is focused on Aaron Rodgers, and it's focused on Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers plays it to a way that it's so focused on Aaron Rodgers. Don't you think that ego, and he understands what winning a second one would do for his, and I hate the word, but I'll use it, the legacy? Don't you think it's
absolutely
a big deal?
I mean, I think that's what keeps you coming back too, is winning.
Well, $50 million a year is probably something to help you come back too.
Well, I mean 12 playoff appearances for Rodgers.
12 playoff.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I think, though, yes, the money, but I think that's what keeps you coming back as an athlete, as a champion, like as a professional athlete.
So
why do these guys keep playing?
I think that's right for the majority, right?
Course.
And I think we'll all acknowledge Aaron Rodgers is a little different than most, right? So is he different in that respect, or is he just playing because I still love it, I still like it, I still want to be there, he doesn't feel like a guy who I love being around the guys, right? I mean, does that feel like what keeps him going? I just love the grind, the work. I don't know.
And besides Pat McAfee, he stresses that like the media thinks they know him, but they don't.
No, I think I'll flat out sit here and acknowledge I have no idea. I don't know him at all, and that's why I wonder. Do you think that's a big deal? Like you say, that's what drives him. And I think in most situations for a guy at 38 years old towards the back end, it would. Okay, better career. It feels like an easy answer, but I'll ask the question anyway. Better career, Eli or Aaron Rodgers? Ben Roethlisberger or Aaron Rodgers? Both of those guys have 2. Now, you would sit here and say, well, look at the numbers. Duh, Jeff, Rodgers was way better. But is it as duh as it feels? Who had better career?
No, because I feel like it's subjective that people usually base it off rings.
That's what I'm saying. Whose career would you rather have had, Ben Roethlisberger's or Aaron Rodgers?
I'll give you one. Nick Foles has the same amount of rings
as
Aaron Rodgers.
So does Mark Rippon, and
Brees.
so does Brad Johnson.
Drew Brees is a good one.
So does Trent Dilfer. Drew Brees is a good one. They're because they both have one and put up crazy numbers. Yeah. But I don't think anybody ever thought that Drew Brees had the just physical raw talent of Aaron Rodgers. Do you? Drew Brees never talked about, one of the best ever. Whose career would you rather have, Eli's or Aaron Rodgers? See, it should be easy.
Good question.
But it's not.
Aaron Rodgers.
Why? I'm not telling you there's a right or wrong answer, but why?
More success. Like consistency. Like, you got 2 Super Bowls. That's fantastic.
Super Bowls against the GOAT.
What about Roethlisberger? Roethlisberger or Rodgers? Who'd you rather be?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Because he was way better in the regular season.
Tom Brady twice.
More consistency. Yeah. Good stuff today. Thanks to Nick Nee and Jerry Palm. Both of them guested on our show today.
Because I do think that there's something to be called one of the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Manning was never one of the best.
I think that's right. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On at 4. Isotopes in Salt Lake after that. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. Have a great day, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.